Today is March 11th. We got the Barstool Royal Rumble. We are going to find out the 5 best viral stories of the day. Which one won? Which one is the last man standing in the ring? We got the Between Two Ferns interview with Obama and Zach Galifianakis. We got the cat hostage situation. Spring training, the guy who let the stroller roll down the hill killed his kid. The plane that's just missing. And the guy who smashed a bazillion walnuts with his forehead. KFC and Dan will rank them. I'll take their rankings into account, and we'll pick the winner. Let's start with the Two Ferns Galifianakis interview.
14.
We'll probably pardon another turkey. We do that every Thanksgiving. Was that depressing to you, seeing one turkey kind of taken out of circulation, a turkey you couldn't eat?
KFC, where you got it?
It's my number 2 overall story of the day. Probably the funniest thing I saw. I thought they were both hilarious. There's an international manhunt going on for a missing plane, and our president's just sitting down with the fat dude from The Hangover. I thought they were both hilarious, and I think it's a lot like the Bieber deposition. Whether you like him or hate him as a president, you got to admit that was funny. Number 2.
Big Cat?
The first 3 minutes were great. The second 3 minutes were just a straight commercial for Obamacare. I give it as my 3 video of the day, although I did love when Galifianakis asked Obama if he was going to be upset that people would stop letting him win at basketball, because you know that actually hurt him.
KFC, I take offense to the Bieber comparison. Bieber was not acting. That was totally an act. I thought it was funny, but I came in when I heard about it, and I read Feidelberg's blog. I was pissed. I'm like, the president has to have better things to do. Feidelberg's first thing was to all the dickheads who think the president doesn't have better stuff to do, shut up. So I just kind of tucked tail and went back into a corner. Number 2, we got this cat hostage situation. Cat attacked a baby and then basically trapped the family in the bathroom.
He's charging us. He's at our door, our bedroom door.
One moment, okay?
Do you hear him?
Can you keep
Screaming
your
about
door?
the cat.
Yeah, I hear him. Hold on. Keep your door shut, okay?
Dan, we'll start with you. What do you got, Big Cat?
This was actually my number 5 story of the day. It really did nothing for me. The family has a 22-pound cat. That's an absurd weight for a cat. That's a dangerous, wild animal living in their house. I know better than anyone a fat cat is not a good cat. So that's my 5 story of the day.
KFC?
Number 5 for me as well. I'm sick of stories about cats being dicks. It's like happening every other day, and I'm sick of giving them publicity for it. You want to have a 22-pound cat? It's like having a pet lion or a pet tiger. Eventually, you're going to end up in a bathroom being taken hostage by them. 5 of the day. I'm sick of these stories.
I thought this was an awesome story. I'm surprised you guys both have it at number 5. I mean, this is all the rage. I was getting a million emails about it. And you know what the crazy thing is? If I'm understanding correctly, these fucking buffoons are keeping the cat. Who keeps it? The cat beat your kid up and held you hostage, and you're keeping it. Number 3 story, spring training. This went viral kind of last night. Home run ball, kid, blah, trash, boom, watch. KFC, what do you got?
I love these stories. You usually see a guy going for a ball, and he leaves his kid, or he keeps his beer instead of his kid. I love the hustle and the determination in it, but I know when these guys go home, they just get absolutely crushed by their wives. So I feel bad for the bastard. I'll put this one. It's going to be my number 4 of the day.
Dan?
If you saw the wife in the background, he was going to get crushed almost immediately. He didn't have to wait to go home. I was corrected in my blog about this. It was actually a ground rule double, but I still love it because the gut instinct of a guy, save the child or go for the ball, you always go for the ball. That's my 2 video of the day.
2 video. I agree with Dan on this one. I mean, you're minding your own business, being a good dad with the family at a baseball game. The last thing you think, first batter of the game, I think it was, all of a sudden there's a ball in your face. You have no choice. You drop what you're doing and get the ball. The jorts with the black socks, black sneakers, that kind of turned me off. But still, I don't blame the guy. You got to do what you got to do. Next story up is this missing plane. I don't even know when this went missing. Feels like it's been gone for a week. Big Cat, you've been manhunting it. So what do you got?
I spent the morning looking in the Pacific Ocean for the plane that it wasn't there. It's not every day that you lose a 777 plane.
I like that 777.
They've been calling it the 777 plane all day, so it's kind of a media trick I've picked up. This is my #1 story of the day, year, and probably decade. You just don't lose a 777 plane every day.
KFC.
Hands down, #1 story of the day. If you don't think that this plane has landed somewhere and this is all some like evil plot and they're just chilling on a private island, you're out of your mind. This has got conspiracy written all over it. This thing is like an onion. It's got layers. We're gonna be talking about this for days until we find out where this plane is.
I like the latest conspiracy theory that somehow a smoke show was in the cockpit, so that means a plane can disappear. And it also follows a long-standing kind of blogging tradition I started here at Barstool. Since it's Malaysian, it doesn't really count, or it's not really serious. There's not like real people on the plane. Like imagine if there's Americans, all hell would be breaking loose. But because it's like in weird letters and doesn't even look like they have TV, it kind of is just funny. Well, not funny, but it's we're talking conspiracy theories.
Don't get lost every day.
What?
American 777s don't get lost every day.
The last one, walnuts. This guy broke on the scene late today. Just smashing the shit out of walnuts with his head. All right, KFC, back to you. What do you got here?
He's my #3 of the day. Love this guy. I mean, some kids grow up and they want to become an athlete. Some kids grow up and they want to become an actor. And this dude just wanted to be the best walnut head smasher in the game, and that's exactly what he is. So I tip my cap to him. You're my #3 of the day.
This is my #4. I just don't understand. We're in the year 2014. Why are you cracking walnuts with your head? You can buy them at the grocery store, uncracked, or you have a nutcracker. We have missing 777s. Let's focus on that and not walnuts and cracking them with your forehead.
I couldn't disagree with you more. I was amazed by this. If you can be the best at anything in the world, be it. I don't care what it is. Own it. I'm triply impressed. The previous record was 44 walnuts. This guy did $1.50. That's not just beating the record. That's shattering the record. And where was this guy? What was he doing? Just sitting around biding his time to come out and say, I am not only going to beat this record, I am going to humiliate the guy who thought he was the best. And I challenge Dan to do it if you're not that impressed by it. Okay, so now's the part where I get to rank them all. We heard everybody's thing. I'm going to give these guys, well, we'll start from bottom to top to keep the expense going. #5 is going with the Ferns of I mean, this was an act. This was an act. This is 5. We're going to keep walnuts at 4 just to satisfy the masses. Spring training dad, 3. Cat hostage, I don't care that you guys both gave it 5. That's insane. It's a 22-pound house cat that they called 911 on because he beat up a baby and had them trapped. That's #1 every other day of the week if we didn't have this friggin' 777?
777.
If we didn't have this 777, that's just gone rogue. So that's the #1 story of the day. And that's that.